Good afternoon, students. We are discussing law of motion, kinetics of particles. From the kinetics of particles, we are discussing Newton's second law of motion, D'Alembert principle. Okay, we know that Newton's second law, F equal to ma. Okay, F equal to ma. Okay, don't say F. That is net force or summation of Fx. Summation of Fx equal to ma. Or summation of F net force F net equal to ma. Understand? That means just imagine a body is here. It has mass m. I am applying various forces F1, F2, F3, okay, F3. So all the forces I replaced a single force. So that is summation of F. Summation of F. Okay, that equal to how much mass based on the net force, the body will have an acceleration. This is called a Newton's second law, F net equal to ma. What is D'Alembert principle? D'Alembert principle, dynamic equilibrium. D'Alembert says dynamic equilibrium. What is dynamic equilibrium? The body is in moving with a stable condition. Best example yesterday I told you, the fan. Just imagine the fan initially at rest. After switched on, the fan speed increases, gradually increases. After some time, it is rotating constant speed. This called a uniform rotation. Uniform, that is dynamic equilibrium. Rotation means that is dynamic, no, but stable. And also just imagine the train at initially slowly speed increases. After reaching some distance, it goes to constant speed. Yes, the city, inside the city, it goes to some it is lower speed. After reaching in the outside of the city, it goes to some constant speed. Dynamic equilibrium. We are also using. You see our bike or car. There is one green color in the speedometer, no? The 60 to 40, 40 to 60. After starting the initial gear changes, the car or bike is moving at a constant speed in a straight line. Okay, that is called a dynamic equilibrium. Then how do you say dynamic equilibrium mathematically? Mathematically, you can say dynamic equilibrium, that is F net minus ma equal to 0. Understand? F net minus ma equal to 0. F, that is called a dynamic equilibrium. F net minus ma equal to 0. Understand, students? See, F net means what I am telling here. F net, just imagine this one block. This side, right side 50 Newton. Just imagine 50 Newton. Okay. Left side 100 Newton. I am applying 100 Newton, 50 Newton. The friction at the bottom, no friction. The friction, I am acting this side, left side. That is 10 Newton. Just imagine 10 Newton. Okay. What is net force? Anyone have tell me? What is the net force? Net force. I am asking net force. Yesterday I told you net force means irrespective of direction, maximum force minus minimum force. Maximum force minus minimum force. That is called net force. Can you tell any one of you, Kavi or class ref, what is the net force for this one, this diagram? Net force means maximum force minus minimum force. Which one is the maximum force here? 100. Students? Minus, which are the minimum forces? Minus 60. So 40 is the net force. Understand? Generally, what you are doing, the left side means minus, no. Here the left side minus, right side plus, no. Generally, that is the different. For here, for D'Alembert principle or Newton's law, you have to use this concept. F net means maximum force minus minimum force. Understand? Class for understand? Kavi, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The same concept apply here, this problem. So we are discussing Newton's second law and D'Alembert principle. Okay. See here, two bodies A and B, mass 80 kg, 80 kg, 20 kg, are connected by a thread. See here, are connected by a thread and move along a rough, students, rough plane. Rough surface means what? Friction, no? Under the action of force 400 Newton. And the 400 Newton acting under the action of 400 Newton applied to the first body of mass 80 kg as shown in figure. The coefficient of friction between the surfaces, see here, plural, surfaces. So here two body, no, block A, block B. Therefore here, surfaces of the body. The mu will be given. Bodies and the plane is 0.3. Here mu also 0.3. Mu also 0.3. Here mu also 0.3. Surfaces. Determine the acceleration of the two bodies. They are asking acceleration, tension in the thread using D'Alembert principle. Students, using D'Alembert principle. Okay. Very simple question. So they given everything. What is the D'Alembert principle? Just now I told you, no. F net minus MA. F net minus MA equal to 0. That is called D'Alembert principle. So I am taking the first body. Just imagine I am taking the first body. Okay. So first body I am taking here. So you see the connector, no? So when I told you tension always away from the body. T tension. Okay. Then the 400 Newton acting. 400 Newton. We know that already told you, no, weight is acting perpendicular downward. So 80 given. What is the weight? Therefore 80 into 9.81. 9.81. Normal reaction, students, normal reaction upward. Or reaction upward. Understand? Then friction. So which direction body is moving? So the 400 is, it says no. So which direction body is moving? So body is moving, motion, this side action. Left direction, motion. Therefore, that is friction, this direction. Why I am introducing friction? They given the question. We know that friction, what is a mu? F equal to mu into R. Just remember, mu into R. Okay. So we are using D'Alembert principle. So we have drawn the first free body diagram for first block. The 400 is acting left side. The tension is connected. No, that's it. That for tension, that's right side. The weight is acting. Here mass given. Students, mass 80 kg given. I already told you. Weight. What is the weight? Mass into gravity. That is 80 into 9.8. Vertical downward. Every action equal to opposite action R. So body motion left side. The friction. I told you, friction always acting opposite direction motion. F equal to mu R. Okay. So based on this concept, F net, we are calculating F net. F net. We are using D'Alembert principle. No, this is D'Alembert equation. F net minus M. We want F net. I told you what is F net? Maximum force minus minimum force. Maximum force minus minimum force. How do you say irrespective of direction? Students, irrespective of direction. So the body is moving which direction? Left direction. How you can say left side? Because the 400 is acting here left side. Therefore, the 400 is maximum. F net means maximum minus minimum. Therefore, 400 maximum force. What are the minimum forces? That is minus T minus mu R. That is F. No, F equal to mu R. Okay. Therefore, 400 minus T. What is mu value? 0.3. Students, mu value 0.3. 0.3. What is R? Students, R equal to what? Summation F equal to 0. R minus 80 into 9.81. That is R, no? Therefore, 80 into 9.81. Here, see here. 80 into 9.81. 784. Vertical direction R1 equal to, that is summation Fy equal to 0. Students, summation of Fy equal to 0. That is R minus 80 into 9.81 equal to 0. Therefore, R equal to how much R? 784. Therefore, minus, that is 0.3 into 784. We calculate F net. What is the D'Alembert principle? F net minus MA. See here. See here, 400. Students, 400 T. Okay. 784 into 0.3, 232. Okay. See, they have taken P1. That is F net. Students, F net. We are using F net. Understand? F net. After simplification, F net equal to 164.8 minus T. Okay, F net calculated. What is the D'Alembert principle? F net minus MA equal to 0. What is F net? 164.8 minus T. What is M? What is M value? 80 kg, no? 80 into A equal to 0. After simplification, that is our equation. See here, equation. Understand? That is the equation 1. Okay. Now same concept apply second block. This is equation 1. Now see the second body. Which one second body? See here. Second block, 20 kg block, no? Just take out 20 kg block. 20 kg block. Same free body diagram, applying D'Alembert principle. The tension here, this body is connected, tension, therefore tension goes to this direction. Tension goes to this direction. Weight, downward. Weight equal to W into W equal to mass and gravity. Students, therefore kg given. Therefore 20 into 9.81. They given only mass, we are converting weight. Okay. Then we know reaction, normal reaction. Every reaction equal to opposite reaction. So the body, which direction moving? 20 kg moving. This left side, motion left side. Therefore friction, right side. That is F. Okay, F equal to mu. This is second body, no? They take R2. R2. Therefore mu, F equal to what? Mu into R2. F equal to, okay, F2. Second body, no, that's why. See, tension, same tension, because same thread, same tension. Okay. So F, friction, right side. I told you, we are applying D'Alembert principle. What is the D'Alembert principle? F net minus MA. F net minus MA equal to 0. What is F net? I told you, F net means maximum force minus minimum force, irrespective of direction. Irrespective of direction. Don't consider direction. Body which direction moving, that direction maximum force. So we know the block move which direction? Which direction? Left direction. Therefore, tension is the maximum force. So maximum force, tension. What are the minimum forces? A minus F. That is F2. Understand? Equal to 0. Why I am putting minus? See, F net means maximum force minus minimum force, irrespective of direction. How do you identify which direction maximum? Which direction the body is moving, that direction maximum force giving. So T is the maximum minus F2. What is a T? T, just to keep it, we do not know. What is F2? Mu into N2, that is R2. R2 equal to 0. Okay. Therefore, T minus, what is a mu? 0.3 given, 0.3. 0.3. What is R2? I told you, what is R2? 20 into, so vertical, see the vertical equation. Summation Fy equal to 0. That is R2 minus 20 into 9.81. Understand? Therefore, what is R2? R2 equal to 20 into 9.81. That is 2. 2 into 8, 16. Plus balance 1. 19. 196.2 equal to 0. That is not equal to 0. See, we are not equal to, we are finding F net. Students, we are finding F net. We are finding F net. We are finding not F net equal to maximum force minus minimum force. So body moving left side, that for maximum force here, T is the maximum. What are minimum force? That is F2. Okay. F2. Second block, no, that is F2. Therefore, T equal, F net equal to T minus, that is mu into R2. Therefore, T minus, what is a mu? 0.3. What is R2? Students, R2 equal to what? 20 into 9.81. Summation vertical 0. F of y equal to 0. Therefore, R2 minus 20 into 9.81 into, what is R2? 20 into 9.81. 2, 196. 196.2. So F net calculated. See here, F net. F net. T minus F2, no? What is F2? Me 2, me into R2. So 58. Okay. What is the D'Alembert principle? F net minus MA equal to 0. So F net calculated. T minus 58.8. What is mass? 20 kg, no? 20 into A equal to 0. Then the equation we find, second equation. Students, second equation. So already equation 1. Equation 1. Equation 2. After simplifying, you will get acceleration 1.06 meter per second square. Apply in any one equation, you will get tension. Students, any doubt? Any question? Any question? Any doubt? Kavi?
No, sir.
Are you understand? Class, what is net force mean? What is net force?
Maximum force minus minimum force.
Irrespective of direction. Don't take left side minus right side plus. Which direction moving, that direction is having maximum force. Suppose left side the body is moving, take as a positive. Suppose the body is moving right side, take as the right side means right side is having maximum force. Then only the body can move. Okay. We are applying in a calculated net force. Here step by step given. In this book they have step by step. I explain the diagram simply way. Okay. See here, two block. Understand? A block, B block. Connector no. Just imagine the engine also front side. The next compartment also next side. So the first compartment which is speed going, the same speed going this block also. That's why the acceleration constant. Students, acceleration constant. Understand? A is constant. Same A, not A1, A2. Generally, understand? A is constant. Similarly, the T also connected, no. The same connected in the single thread. So the tension also same. Understand? Okay. So calculated. We applied Newton. That is D'Alembert principle. D'Alembert principle, other name, dynamic equilibrium. Dynamic equilibrium. Okay. Now, momentum. See, imagine m equal to mass of the gun, v equal to velocity of the gun, which with which the recoils. M equal to mass of the bullet, small m. V equal to velocity of the bullet after explosion. Okay. So as per concept, the law of conservation, no? Law of conservation of momentum. That is initial momentum equal to final momentum. You know law of conservation of energy. Energy can be neither created nor destroyed. It can be converted into one form to another form. The best example, see the petrol. We are using petrol. That is a liquid stage. After consuming the power, what we are getting output? The gas. So liquid into gas. So the energy can be neither created nor destroyed. It can be converted to one form to another form. Okay. So the same concept here. This is called law of conservation. Very important. Two more questions. Law of conservation of momentum. Law of conservation of momentum. That is initial momentum equal to final momentum. Understand? Initial momentum m into u1 equal to m into u2. Initial momentum equal to final momentum is called a law of conservation of momentum. Okay? Just imagine. See here. A machine gun, mass of 25 kg, fires a bullet of mass 30 gram with a velocity of 250 meter per second. A machine gun of mass 25 kg fires a bullet of mass. So the machine gun mass 25. Bullet no small. Say gram. See here. Gram. Here kg. Class, sir, can you say one kilogram equal to how many gram? 1 kilogram equal to how many gram? Class rep or Kavi?
1000 gram.
Very good, very good, very good. Okay. Find the velocity with which machine gun coil recoil. Okay. So capital M means the machine gun. Capital M, 25 kg. Capital V, they asking with velocity the machine gun we will recoil. So we know initial momentum equal to final momentum. M into V equal to a capital M into V equal to small m into V. So Okay. Therefore, capital V equal to 0.3 meter per second. Just imagine when you die in the bullet, you see the films, small press only, but the bullet goes to very high speed. Students, just imagine you can watch any Hollywood movie or Tamil movie. No, the police by a firing gun, only small. That is speed. See here, 0.3 meter per second. But what about bullet speed? That is here 250. Understand? That is initial moment equal to final momentum here. Any questions, students? Do you have any questions? Okay. Now I am sharing the video. Now I am sharing the yesterday video. You can now understand. Okay.
Kinetics of a particle. This is also known as particle dynamics. Now, this essentially is based on three important principles. Starting off with the element principle, it happens work energy principle, and then finally goes to the impulse momentum theory. Okay, now in this part one of this video series, I'm going to talk about the element principle. It's absolutely based on the Newton's second law of motion. When you talk about the work energy principle, this in fact completely based on the difference of kinetic energy. And it states that if kinetic energy at position 1 minus the kinetic energy at position 2 is equivalent to work done, okay, or the difference in kinetic energy at two different points, two different positions is equivalent to the work done. And then finally, in the third video of this lecture series, we'll actually go through the simple momentum. Okay? And this actually talks about the law of conservation of movement. Right. So in this lecture, let's talk about this fellow, John Heron Levy. Okay. Now, in order to clearly understand what this theory has to say, we need to go through Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion. Well, I'm pretty much sure that you guys must have gone through Newton's second law of motion, 9th grade, 10th grade, or 11th grade, right? But I'll briefly explain to you what it is. Okay, so let's say we have a body. Body is having a mass, and this body in fact is acted upon by a bunch of forces. Let's call this forces F1, this is F2, and this as F3. Now, the effect of all these forces is going to be like this. All of this is going to have one single result. Something of this sort. This is due to convenience and for simplicity. The overall effect of these forces is having a result of magnitude r, and it is going to induce the body to move somewhere along in the horizontal direction. Let's say the x direction. Right? So what Newton's second law of motion says, summation of all the forces, all these forces acting on a body is equal to product of mass m multiplied by the acceleration. So this is essentially a mathematical expression of the second law of motion. Now, what we'll do right now is that we'll try to apply the Newton's second law of motion, and we'll try to calculate either force or the acceleration. Let me try to explain what exactly I'm trying to say. So here we go. Let me remove all of this. And let's just say that upon this frictionless surface, this is ground, in fact, you can say this is frictionless. Frictionless. Okay, let's say we have a body having a mass. Let's just assume this mass as kg. And let's just say that this is being acted upon by two forces from two different directions. Now, let's say this force is having a magnitude of 100 newtons, and one more force is there, okay, acting from the right to the left of the screen, something of this sort, and this, in fact, is having a magnitude of, let's just assume it has 15 newtons. Okay, so how can Newton's laws of motion or the second law of motion help us in calculating the acceleration that this body is going to have, or this object is going to have? Acceleration. Okay, let's say the acceleration is represented by small. Okay, so what the law says is summation of all the forces is equivalent to, let's say, x direction. Right now, we are working in the x direction, y-axis, and none of the forces are acting in the y direction. So analysis along this axis not to be done. Analysis along x-axis is to be carried out right. Summation of all the forces in x direction is equivalent to the product of mass and acceleration. So what are the forces acting? 100 is towards the right, taken as positive, and if there is a force acting over here, it has to be taken as negative. So we have this 100 positive, we have this 50 negative, and all of this is going to be equal to the product of mass. How much is the mass? It's 10 kg. You could write this as 10 multiplied by acceleration. So guys, you essentially need to solve this equation, right? And then we're going to immediately get the value of acceleration. This is 100 minus 50 over here. Obviously 5. So the value works out as 5 meters per second square. So this is the acceleration that this object or this body or this system is going to acquire when these two forces are acting backwards. That is 5 meters per second square. Okay? Let me give you one more intuition in this concept of acceleration. What we basically calculated is this acceleration as 5 meters per second. You can essentially say, or you can essentially write this as 5 meters per second. What does this mean? This means in a span of 1 second, the body will acquire a velocity of 5 meters or will increase. The velocity of the body will increase by an amount of 5 meters per second. So initially, the velocity is going to be 0, but let's say at t is equal to 1 second, the velocity is going to be 5 meters per second. And let's say at t is equal to 2. So previously it is 5 more. So the velocity at t is equal to 2 seconds is going to be equal to 10 meters per second. So this is why acceleration is so helpful in computing the velocity at different time spans.
Students, I am sharing another video. Yesterday we discussed this one by using the Newton's second law, D'Alembert principle problems. Okay.
Hey guys, what's up? This is your friend and tutor Manas, and it's going to be yet another session in this lecture series on engineering mechanics. Today, we're going to be taking up a problem based on dynamics, and its description can be seen at the bottom of your screen. Okay, now let me explain this to you, what this entire arrangement is all about. So there are basically two blocks in the form of M1 and M2. They have been connected together with the help of a pulley. Alright, now the mass for block 1 is 10 kgs, the mass for block 2 is 5 kgs. And there is some sort of friction between this block and this surface over here. Coefficient of friction has been given as 0.25. Okay, so what we are supposed to do is we have to calculate two things. One is the amount of tension generated in the string. And the second thing is amount of acceleration. So what basically is happening if this entire system is released from the state of equilibrium, then in that case this block will move downwards and this block will move in the right hand side direction. Or you can also say this block will travel in the downward direction with an acceleration A, and this block M1 over here will travel towards the right hand side with an acceleration A. And this is something which we're going to be calculating. Okay, again, I'm going to be applying the Newton's second law of motion to calculate those two values, tension and acceleration. So guys, let's kick off by doing the analysis for block M1. Block M1. Let's do this. Okay. So when you speak of block M1, this string is going to pull this block, okay, by a tension of A, right? At the same time, we know very well that the weight of the block is going to act in the downward direction. Now, mass is how much? It's 10 kg, so the weight W1 is going to be equal to, obviously, it's going to be mg, that means 10 times of g. G is nothing but the acceleration due to gravity, whose value, G's value can be taken as, if you write it somewhere, 9.81 meters per second square. Anyways, this is mass, weight is going to act downwards, so this is going to be equal to mg. Now, this is acting in the downward direction, so there is going to be some reaction offered from the surface perpendicular to this, okay, something of this sort. So let's say that this reaction is given by, say, n. That's it. All right. So let's frame this first equation. Summation of all the forces in y direction is equal to 0. Y is equal to 0 because there is no movement along the y direction. Therefore, the force which is upwards, positive, downwards, negative. So we can essentially write this as n minus 10g equals to 0. Or you can also say the value of reaction works out as 10 times of g. That. What's next? Okay, this block is moving in this direction, so there is going to be a friction force which is going to act somewhere along this direction, this way. Okay, now guys, remember, friction force, small f, is given as coefficient of friction multi. So n has already been calculated, which is equal to 10g, and the value of friction is 0.25. So this is going to be 0.25 multiplied by n is how much? It's 10g. So I write this as 10g. So essentially, this works out as 2.5 times of g, and that's the value of the friction force over here. So F equals 2.5g. Let's write this in brackets. 2.5g. That's the total amount of friction acting towards the left hand side. Okay. Now let me frame another equation. This is where I'm going to be using the Newton's second law of motion. Summation of all the forces is equal to mass into acceleration. The block 1 analysis is going on right now, so the mass of block 1 has to be taken into account. It's moving towards the right in acceleration A. That's why we have written A over here. And since all of this motion is taking place in the x-axis or along the x-axis, so I'm going to write f of x over here. Okay, so what are these forces? Left hand side. Now guys, whenever you are solving problems related to Newton's laws of motion, always try to work out what are the forces that are dominating the motion. So you can clearly see, since the motion is towards the right hand side and the force towards the right hand side is this one, this T. That means this T is dominating, okay, with respect to this friction force. So what we can do is, 2 has to be taken as positive, P, this is towards the left, minus friction force, whose magnitude is 2.5g, and that's it. That's all the forces that we've got will be equal to the mass. How much is the mass? M1, where is M1? It's 10 kgs times of acceleration, that's p. Okay, let us say that this is equation number 1. That and that's it. Block 1 analysis is over. Now let's carry out the same analysis for block 2. Okay, so it's going to be something like this. Very simple. If you write this quickly, block M2. Okay. Now you can clearly see that the motion is happening along the vertical axis. Now check which force is dominating, and for that I need to apply the force over here. So obviously this string, and there is going to be some weight. Can you clear up this right now? weight of this block. So weight is mg. Mg, how much is m? M is 5. So I can write 5g over here, where g represents the acceleration due to gravity. And due to this weight, there is going to be tension. Okay? Okay, which is going to have a magnitude of T. All right. Between these two forces, can you tell me which force is dominating? Now, since the motion is happening in the downward direction, that means you can claim that this force, Ig force, is dominating. Therefore, this will be taken as positive, and the force opposite to this one, that is this tension T, will be taken as negative. That's the sign convention that we're going to be following right now. And here we go. Summation of all the forces in y direction is equal to mass into acceleration. So the block for which analysis is being done right now is block 2. It's going to be m2a, and the acceleration with which it is going downwards is represented by a. That's why we've written a over here. All right. So the force dominating is this one, 5g. Okay. Right now we're taking the direction of dominating force as positive. Okay. So this will be taken as positive, and this over here will be taken as negative. That's why this is 5g positive. T will be taken as negative. So if we write this, 5g minus t is equal to mass into acceleration, log to mass, 5 kg, 5 times of a, and that's it. That's equation number 2. Now you can clearly see that we have to calculate two outputs in the form of tension and acceleration. We have two equations. Okay, this is unknown t, and this also is unknown to us. Acceleration t and a. We have two equations. We have two unknowns. G is already known to us. How much is it? 9.81. The best thing to do right now, you can clearly see this t is positive over here, this t is negative. So what I'll do is, I'll add these two equations, equation 1 plus equation 2, and let's see what happens. So t minus 2.5g, let me write this in totality, 2t minus 2.5g, okay, then plus 5g minus t is equivalent to how much? This is 10a and this is 5a. So 10 plus 5a. So guys, you can clearly see these two things will cancel out. 5g minus 2.5g is obviously 2.5g over, which is going to be equal to 10 plus 5 is 15, 15a. So acceleration will work out as 2.5g over 15. 2.5g, and the value of g is how much? It's 9.81 over what? It's going to be 15. So the value of acceleration works out as, let me rub this. Okay. I'm sure you guys must have noted that friction thing. Okay. I need some space over here. So the value of acceleration is going to work out as, let me check how much it is. You can do this calculation in a calculator. And this eventually works out as 1.635 meters per second square. 1.635 meters per second square. So that's the value of acceleration obtained. Now you can put this value of acceleration in either equation 2 or in equation 1 to get the value of tension T. It's going to be very simple. Now let's frame this equation 2 in a better way. So I can write this as 5g minus t. Let's take t over to the right hand side and 5a will come over here. So t is equal to 5g minus 5a. T equals 5g minus 5a. So you just need to put the value of g and a, and eventually we're going to get the value of tension T. So tension T will be equal to 5 times of 9.81 minus 5 times of acceleration 1.635. 1.635. We'll just do this calculation and the value of T shall work out as, let me tell you, 40.875. 40.875 newtons. So that's it. That's the tension T in the string, and that's the acceleration with which this entire system is going to move. Okay. Block M2 will go downwards with an acceleration of 1.60, and block M1 will move right inside with an acceleration of 1.
Students, this problem, one block resting horizontal surface. One block resting horizontal surface. Another block is hanging. Okay, through, that we are using the well now. lifting water, that's there is a rim. Okay, the rope is connected, single rope, single thread. So automatically this block, that is M2 blocks moving downward, this block is moving right side. We are using, we can use Newton's second law or D'Alembert principle. Almost same. What is Newton's second law? F net equal to ma. What is D'Alembert principle? F net minus ma equal to 0. So in this problem they used Newton's second law. See here, F net equal to ma. So this must consider this block. What is F net? I told you F net means maximum force minus minimum force. See, this block is moving right side. So which one is maximum? T is the maximum. T minus F. There is only F is friction force, no? F is action left side. So T minus F, that is net force. What is F friction force? F equal to mu N or mu R. Okay, mu value given 0.25. That's why he used, what is the N value? This is a 10 G, no, 10 into 9.81. He did not multiply, 10 into 9.81. Therefore, after calculating N equal to 10 G. Therefore, F equal to mu N. Mu equal to 0.25. 0.25 into 10, 2.5. Okay. Therefore, F net equal to T minus this value. That equation 1. So this block is contacted, then friction is developed. Now see this block. This block is only hanging, no friction. Students, when friction develop, when contact only friction develop, otherwise no friction developing. It is hanging. Which direction is moving? Vertical downward. What is the net force? Net force means which direction moving, that direction maximum force. So here, therefore 5G, 5 into 9.2, 5 into 9.2 great force. Maximum force minus minimum, which one is minimum? T. That's why see here, 5G minus T, net force, equal to, what is the second law? M into A. What is M? 5. So A is a constant because both block moving same acceleration. So we got two equations. After simplifying, we calculated. Okay. So with that, I want to conclude today's class. We will discuss next class with the different problems.